Hi, this is Suzanne. We've already done a big picture overview of the changes in the 2019 Alabama Math course of study. I'd like for us now to look specifically at our course, Geometry with Data Analysis. We're going to begin with 3 whys, and then we're going to analyze a comparison document. So let's look at our first why. Why change? I have a good friend that says, when we know better, we do better. And NCTM's Catalyzing Change helps us to know better. It is a document full of recommendations based specifically on research. It's a great place to start for a book study. I've uploaded the executive summary and a PDF of a book study to our Canvas, and also you can find the URLs in the notes of this PowerPoint. One of their key recommendations focuses on the essential concepts, and much of the time in the book is spent on really defining what each one of these essential concepts is. We want to, as the State Course of Study Committee, work together. We use these as a cornerstone of almost all of our work, and you'll see that as you look at our content areas. The high school looked at those and integrated those essential concepts into the 3 main courses: Geometry with Data Analysis, Algebra 1 with Probability, Algebra 2 with Stats. This is just an example from the document in the overview that takes each of the essential concepts and shows which courses those essential concepts appear. You will also see the essential concepts in conjunction with each of our content standards. Which brings us to our second why. Why add stats to geometry? As you see the importance of stats in the essential concepts, it was necessary for those stats and probability and data analysis content standards to be spread between Geometry with Data Analysis, Algebra 1 with Probability, and Algebra 2 with Stats. We've already looked at this quote from the Statistical Education of Teachers document. I've also included that for you. Here are 2 videos that I think could be very beneficial as you work with your department, or even to show your students. Especially the second one, why you need to study stats. It looks at various professions, liberal arts, math, science, and talks about the importance of statistics in each one. And our third why geometry first? Why geometry with data analysis before Algebra 1 with probability and Algebra 2 with statistics? You might want to stop the video for just a moment and read. I've given you an excerpt from Catalyzing Change from page 86, and this is one of the pathway options that they discussed. The one thing that Alabama did change is they were looking at only you doing 2.5 years within pathway A rather than 3 years as we did with our 3 courses. Lastly, let's take just a few minutes to look at a comparison document that's been prepared by A+ College Ready. If you notice, the first column is the 2016 course of study. The second column is the 2019 course of study. And the last column is just a discussion of the major changes. I've highlighted a few that I wanted us to focus in on. 2 things that we discovered in geometry that were very important from Algebra 1 that needed to be included were the standard about simplifying radicals, adding, subtracting, multiplying radicals that we'll be needing when we start looking at right triangles and Pythagorean theorem. Also, the second one that I highlighted yellow is looking at rearranging formulas. And we know that's an important concept as well. All of these at the beginning are new. If you notice here, I have highlighted in pink things that have been taken out. We will no longer be completing the square in geometry. Then beginning with number 7, each of these that I've highlighted blue are the data analysis standards, and that goes through number 15. Then beginning number 16, if you refer back to the column on the left, you can see that these very closely correlate with the standards that we were doing previously. And lastly, the pink highlighted standards are those that are no longer in geometry. So when you're trying to look at your pacing guide, you're trying to look at your curriculum, you're beginning to integrate the stats and all of the new standards, remember that there have been some standards taken out. You will no longer be having to prove the law of sines and cosines or working with those to solve triangles. Another big piece that's been taken out is the concurrent segments within a triangle, some of the constructions. So, and anything dealing with probability was taken out as well and put into Algebra 2. This document, both highlighted and unhighlighted, will be in Canvas. So hopefully that just gives you a little feel for geometry and how the 2019 course of study is different from the 2016 course of study. If you have any questions or want to discuss it more, just let me know. Thanks.